So it's recording. Hello everyone. Today on day 6, we are going to cover login functionality. We have just for till now we have covered uh, basic setup and made database schema. So today we are going to do login functionality. We are going to create registered and logging HTML, and then we'll create routes for this authentication. So let me share my screen and then we should start. Yeah. Just confirm if my screen is visible. I think, yeah, it's visible, right? So we have done this till now, this setup. In routes.py, we have only single route. In app.py, we have made this setup, and then models.py, we have made this schema, database schema. So let me run the server. Okay, it's giving error. Why? Backend.module line number 5. Routes. No module name backend PC. I don't know why it's not working. Let me start it again. So it should work now. Yeah, it's okay. So I'll go to this link. Okay, let me make the route only, not slash home, just simple slash home. So if I use render template, I should not do. I should just return simple welcome. And if I refresh it, yeah. So for slash route are returning welcome. So it's just basic route. Now we want to make a uh, login page, a register page. Before that, I want to make a home page. So this will my home page look like. So there will be a login button. There will be a register button. I'm telling this. I'm covering this because I want to tell you how to use Bootstrap to make this. Okay. So let's make a home file, a file in templates. So all the HTML file we are going to create, that will be reside in this templates folder. So I'm creating first file home.html. So this is my home.html. Here I will write the code for that. So let's take a boiler template. So there is a shortcut, shift exclamation and then enter. So you do shift 1 and then enter. So you will get this boiler template. So you can start with it. So let me give the title home, and now we have to use Bootstrap to making this web page. So what I will do, I will just go to Bootstrap. Bootstrap. So this is a Bootstrap website. We'll go here, go to docs. So this is the entire documentation for Bootstrap. Just scroll down and you will see this CDN links. So you can use these CDN links. So this first link is for CSS. Second link is for JavaScript. So let me tell you how to put it. You come to here, in head, you have to make a element link. First linking style sheet. So here style src rel equal to and href equal to this cdn link. So our style sheet is bootstrap. We are not creating a custom file, css file. We are using bootstrap. So I use href for the cdn link. Now there's this javascript also. So if you want to take it, just copy it. We don't require JavaScript that much, but for some functionality we required, so we will take it from Bootstrap only. So just for JavaScript we should add at the end. So just do src and paste it here. So for Bootstrap CSS you can take it. You have to add it to head always, and script you can add both in the head, or otherwise you want in the at the end. So I'm doing at the end because the JavaScript functionality should not affect the user experience, because it requires a lot of loading, server loading. So it takes too much time to show all the things. So I'm loading this at the end. So before before loading the JavaScript, my whole body is loaded, and then other functionality will be loaded. So it won't be a bad experience for user. So that's why we have added the script at the end. So let me give it to you at the chat. This is the style sheet, and this is the script, JavaScript. So you can edit it. Now let's start. So there are multiple things here, multiple sections. So whatever you want, you can use that. Right. So first we will start with a div. We will make a div, and in that we will make a h1 root where we'll write welcome, and whatever welcome to whatever your application name. So I'm giving helpify. So if I go here, we have to again refresh it, right? So we are not okay, so we are not rendering this template yet. So what we will do, we will not use Flask server to render this template yet. When our whole template will be ready, then we'll do render template here in the routes. That this for this route, this home.html should be rendered. So we are not doing it just now. We are just preparing a HTML file. So there is an extension that you can download called live server. So yeah, this Ritvik Day application publisher, this extension by publisher Ritvik Day, you can install. I have installed it. So this will create a this will how what it will do, it will open a Python server. It will create a Python server for you, and then you can just directly right click on this file and open it in browser. Yeah. So it's this file is opened in browser at localhost IP address with port 5501. Okay, so you can just download that extension and just right click. You will see a option open with live server, and then you can open this HTML in live server, and you can see real time changes to your HTML file. So if I remove this and then so it's real time changing. We are not using Flash server yet. We're just preparing our HTML. Okay, so let's go ahead. So I have made this h1 here. Now below that, according to us, we want this welcome to Helpify, and then after that there should be two buttons, login and register. So let me put two buttons, one here. So this will be login and this will be for register. Yeah, so if I go here, it's working, right? So now I want in between, in the center of this page. So there is a utility in Bootstrap. You can search center, text center. So if you go here, then there is this utility class for centering the text. So if you want to do text start, then it will be start. So by default, it does text start. If you want to do text end, then it will be placed in the at the right side, top right side. And if you want to do text center, then it will be in between. So let me set a class here. So and give it the class name text center. So if I go, so it's centering this. So whatever text inside this div, whatever text we will write, it will be centered in the page. Okay, so this is centered. Now it's at very top. So I want it in the center, horizontal, vertically. So there is you can give padding to it from top. So there is this padding padding utility. You have to explore this bootstrap. Whatever you want, just you just search it, you will get it. So there is this two things, margin and padding. So how you use margin and padding from bootstrap? You can use you can for margin you have to use m, for padding you have to use p. So and if you want to give margin at top, then you can do mt, and you will get a margin top. If you want to use margin at bottom, so you can do margin bottom. So like that you can do. Or you want horizontally, then mx will give the margin at x-axis, means the horizontal. If you give margin at y, so it will give at margin at vertically in y-axis. So I can use this div will get a padding from this body, sorry, margin from this body. So I'll use m, and I want to margin from top mt. And how much margin I want? So there's this size. So I'll want full margin. So I'll just do mt5. So if I see here, if I go here, yeah. So I'm getting this much margins, and I think it's uh, completely fine. Now this button and this h1 element has uh, very less spacing. So let's give spacing to that. So I can say that let's give margin at the bottom of this h1. So suppose I want to give margin to 2. So so this h1 get margin from both the buttons of size 2. So if I
From where it counts the margin? Is a starting point. It starts
so
from.
margin will count this button, like uh, this h1 has this container only. H1 container
Okay.
is this, and
Okay.
then this
Yeah.
button container is this. So
Yeah.
between h1 and then between this button, there's margin of 2. So if I do
Okay.
mb5, then it will be big margin.
Okay.
So
Got it.
it's
Yeah.
getting
Okay.
margin.
Got it.
But if you do padding will be inside, like let me explain it like this. So padding will be
And margin will be applied after that. Whatever class we are giving margin,
mhm.
that will before that. Before that,
Before that
class
means.
is here. Welcome to help verify. The margin is being 5 margin was applied after that. After
Yeah,
the welcome to help.
after the H1 and this button. Yes.
Yeah. Means whatever class we are using for the margin,
Hmm.
the margin will be applied after that.
Yeah,
Right.
but with this MT5, it will be, because it's on the top margin, so it will be between body and div. Okay, but here it says bottom, so it will be
That's what
bottom to
that's what I'm
H1.
asking.
Hmm.
In the div, it will applied before, and in the H1 tag, it is being applied after that.
After, because it's at the below,
Okay.
at
Below that. Okay,
bottom
got it.
part. B
Okay.
means bottom, this T means top, so it will get margin from top. Margin from top means the top element is body. So its parent is
Yeah,
body. So parent, it will give margin from the parent. And now this has B5, so it will give margin from this bottom element, the whatever the recent adjacent bottom element, it will get margin from that. Okay, so if you want to do margin start, then you can do start, so it will give margin from left side. Okay, it will get margin from left side. So let me do it. uh, Let me do it here. For button, let me second button, let me give a margin M S uh, 5. So for this button, second
yeah.
button, I'm giving margin from start. So it will give margin from this button, because in the left side of this register button, there's another button that is login. So it gets a margin from left side start.
Okay.
But if you do, if you remove this class from here,
And put in the previous one after.
and now you don't need to do, because now let me, now it's together. Now if,
Yeah,
hello,
yeah, yeah.
anybody is saying something, just mute it, mute your mic when required, and speak. Okay, otherwise you'll get disturbed. uh, so yeah, so these two buttons are adjacent. Now I want this login to get spacing from this register, right? Get margin from this register. So login is from start, so I'll get margin from the end. End means this register. So I'll get margin and 5. So now this login gets margin from register. Okay, so it's like same thing, but for login you are doing E because you want margin from right side, but for register you have to do MS because you want margin from the left side. Okay, so it's completely simple. If you go and
Yeah,
read it,
yeah.
it's completely explained here.
And
Okay.
the values of the class is
Hmm.
only for the this CDN link. Right? It will work with this only, you know?
Yeah, if you remove this CDN link, then it won't work. So
Okay,
if I remove this read link, so it's just like a style sheet file is
yeah, yeah.
prepared at the server, at the CDN server of
Mhm.
Bootstrap. So
Okay, okay,
if I
okay.
go here, every styling has removed. So I
Correct.
have to do, I have to use this CSS CDN link. Okay, so this is how it's working. Now let's remove this here. So this button is looking like very simple button. So there's this button component here. uh, Either you can search it, otherwise here it will be present, yeah, buttons, or you can search this button. So if you will see, there are different type of button, and there are color utility also in Bootstrap. You can use custom colors, but if you want to use Bootstrap color, then there are only 6 to 7 colors. Primary stands for this blue, secondary stands for this gray, and like that, success and danger, warning for yellow, and like that. So if you want to use any color, then use this primary, secondary, success, and this particular thing, word, to use colors in what we say, Bootstrap. So let's just take an example. If I want to give color to hold the body, to hold body, whole background. So I'll give, sorry. So there is this class BG. BG means background. If you want to search, you can search like that, back, background color, and just do BG and whatever color name you want to use. So if you want to use busy danger, so the color will be, background color will be applied to whole body. So if I go here, so yeah, so it's working. So you can do BG. BG means background color, and then you are giving the colored name. Danger corresponding to red. So we are using like this. Okay. So this is the color will work. This is how the color will work. So let me remove this class. I don't want any color. Uh, Now we are doing buttons. So I want the buttons to look like this, so I'll copy this class button warning. So this button specifies it's a bootstrap button, and but this button warning specify that it gives a yellow color. So I'll just class. Okay, I have copied it already. So yeah, button primary. So if I go now here, so yeah, it's looking like a good button. I can similarly copy here and do it here. Now for me, now this home page is ready. So we can just what we can do, we can go to this routes.py. In the returns, I can do render template, and I can specify the name of this template that I want to render at this route. So my template is created. So I'll just give the name of this file. And now if I go to Flask server, initially it's returning welcome. If I reload this, it's rendering that page. Okay, so it's working. Now let's create a register and login page. So I have two entities for register: customer and service professional. Admin no need any register page, and login I will keep a single login for all of the users. So after clicking on register, he should get two options for customer or for professional. So there should be a drop down, right? So what we can do, that we can use this drop down utility from Bootstrap. Am I audible? Right? Hello? Yeah, I'm
Yeah, audible.
yeah. So we can use drop down utility from Bootstrap. So I'm just drop down. Yeah, there are drop
Pardon
downs.
once again, the login and register, admin login is not required. What do you mean by that?
Admin register is not required.
So how admin will work?
We will keep a admin record in database already. Uh, okay, so, and we will just use login for admin. We don't require any registration. There won't be multiple users coming and registering as admin, right? There will be a single admin that is already present. Okay. We
Okay.
will see later
Okay.
what
Okay.
we do.
Okay.
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 So for drop down, he should a user if he come he can he should see for register he should see two options for as a customer or as a professional. So I'll just take this drop down. Yeah. So you can take this whole code as it is. So it will give this drop down similar thing. So it's given with three list items as a drop down. So I just copy it and take it here. Go to HTML, and for this register button I want a drop down. So this is the login and register button we have already. I'm taking a drop down button also. So if I see the HTML page, yeah, so here it's saying there's one more button, drop down button. Why it's coming below? Because it's inside this div, and div is a block element. If I don't know if you remember from Med 1 in CSS we have studied that div is a block element, button is a inline element, so that's why this button and button don't both are coming in the same line. But div is a block element, so it will take spacing of its own, so it will take a whole place. So that's why it's coming below these buttons. So I can remove this register, and I can make this drop down button as register, and I can give two options to it. In list item, there are three options. I just need two. First is customer, and second is professional. So I'm giving this. Now, if I go there, yeah, so it's giving register and customer professional. Now I want this both buttons to be in the same line. So there is a class for this to make the div inline, because div is a block element, and to make the div inline there is a utility called display. And if you go to here, so yeah, so initially all the divs are blocked. So if you do if you make two divs, then both the divs will come one after the other. But if you do the inline, and that using this you are making this div as an inline block, so then both the divs will come line by line. So we can just give a class d inline, and this div will be converted as an inline element, and this button is itself inline element. Then these both will together come in the same line. And if I go here, yeah, so it's coming in the same line. And this is the color specified secondary. I don't
This
know secondary.
this drop down and D inline is the attribute of this class.
uh, Attribute of this class is not, this is a class defined in Bootstrap. If you use this class, then this div is getting aligned. So it's not
Okay.
that so what is happening, there is a style sheet is created at Bootstrap server. So in
Yeah.
that styling, a class styled as button warning, and
Okay.
it given a color yellow. So you are using that class, then your button gets that color. Okay. So if you are doing this if you are doing this mb5, then there is a already style created for this class in Bootstrap, which we are using this link, and the styling is applied here. Okay.
Property will go
Property is created in this here in this
already.
CSV file.
Okay. Okay. It will take.
Yeah, in this CSV file it's created there. So in this
Sometimes
CS
it
file,
is one. Sometimes it is one. Sometimes it's more than one.
what more
Drop.
than one?
It's a drop down is a property. D inline is a property.
Yeah,
Both are two properties, no?
yeah, so if you want to apply multiple properties, then apply multiple properties, right?
With an space.
Yeah, with an space, because two
Okay.
class comes with space.
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay. Okay.
it's similar to like you can write like this. You can again write class and then D inline. So it's similar to.
Okay. 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 Okay.
So you
Both.
can
Okay.
combine both the things, and you can do
Okay.
just
Without. Yeah.
without.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Please. Please. Okay. Got it.
So you are using two classes. First for drop down, second for making it inline. So these are two property, you can say. So this is how we will do. If you want to apply multiple properties, then um, if you want margin, suppose, then you just do ms 5, and it will give margin. It will give margin from this button. So see, so you can apply multiple properties in a single class by just giving a space. Okay. So it's there. If I click on this, there is customer, there is professional, and let's do this button. And button warning, what it's doing, it's making it as a button. So this button element is not required. If you do this div, if you make it div, then also it's not div, because this button, if you give it a anchor, then also it will behave like a button, because you have specified a class button that is created in Bootstrap. Okay. So if I go here, then it's nothing has changed, right? So it's a anchor still. So why I'm doing anchor, because for a login, that if user click on login, he should go to some other page, right? So I'm giving a href here in the I'm giving an anchor to this login button, and saying that after clicking that, user should go to a login route. So I'm specified that route, and after clicking on this drop down, if you click on customer, then you should go to a route. Let's say we will create a route for register slash customer. And
Button tag
similar,
will not accept. Button tag will not accept this href.
yeah, button element. As far as I remember, button element has not any attribute href, so that's why I'm
Okay.
not using that.
Okay.
So we can just do small profession. We should keep same. Okay, so after we have made a good page that after clicking login, it should go to slash login. After clicking on register, and then you can choose customer and professional. So you can go to respective that routes. So I think it's working now. Now, if I just refresh it, click on here, we are able to see it, right? So in Flask app, it's working. Let's create login and register route. So let's first create a register route. Before that, we should create a register HTML. So there will be two entities for register, customer and professional. So what I will do, I'll make two folders in HTML. For first for customer and second for uh, what inside this, inside templates, I want second folder as professional, and let's make one more folder for admin. So why I'm doing this, so I want all the HTML file of admin should be reside in this templates admin folder. Okay, inside this template there is a folder admin, so all the HTML file for admin will go inside this, all the HTML file for customer will go inside this, and all the HTML file for professional will go inside this. Home is like uh, everyone can access this home, so I'm keeping it outside these folders and inside this templates folder. So let's create a register HTML for customer. So I'll just create a file inside this customer directory, register.html, and yeah, so it's created. Uh, let's uh, create boiler template using shift 1 and enter, and let me give a title customer register, and I want a page. Okay, so we want a there should be a box. Inside that there should be all the attribute that we want. So suppose if we want input, then there should be an input. There should be there should be a name input. Then there should be a email. For email there should another input. For password there should be another input. So that's how we want, right? So for that, uh, what we'll do, we will first copy all the bootstrap style sheet we are using. So I'll copy for CSS, and I'll just put it here. For script, I'll copy it from here. Yeah, so we have copied. Now we want to make a container where we will have a card. So this is the whole body. We can take it like this. This is the whole body, and there should be a container that will keep this card. So we just make a container div. We just make a div container, and inside this container I want a
What did you type here? Div dot container, then automatically this tag will come.
dot corresponding to class in HTML, right? So that's why. So you can write manually. I'm just using shortcut. So
And
if you
what is
don't,
the shortcut that div dot container?
so dot for a class. So there will be a element div, and then you are given dot and whatever class
Okay.
name. I will give xyz and press enter. Then there's a
Okay.
element
Okay.
with
Okay.
this class will be created.
Okay.
Hello.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah. So for this div, if I want to give a ID, then I will do instead of dot, I will use hash and give ID. So it will create a
Hmm.
ID. So it's like that. So I'm
Okay.
just using shortcut. You can do like manually. So class container, and inside this container I wanted card. So for in bootstrap there is a card component. You can search, either search or find it from here. So you can create a card like this. We don't need this card, but we can use this card, and we can like modify according to our need. So I'm just copying this first card, and I'm using this. I don't want this image, so I'll just remove this image. And yeah, so if I go to, if I run this file in live server, let me remove this home. I don't require this. Yeah. So I'm able to see a card here. Okay. So I need this card in center. So there's some flex property. I will see. Yeah. So there's a utility called flex. Flex. What you can study about this flex. Whatever I'm telling in this class, those things only required. Okay. So no need to worry that there are multiple things. How do you know? If you want things, then you can search from internet that whatever required for your project. So you want to implement. Suppose I want a card to be implemented, right? I imagine that there should be a card. So I just come here and then let's see how cards look like in Bootstrap, and then uh, I get this card, right? So then I can use this. I want any, suppose like previously we want drop down, so just search drop down and then you can use that drop down, right? We don't need to require to write anything, right? So there's this flex property. Flex, you'll get how flex works. So if we do deflex, then all the things will be flex, means they are working as a grid. How it will work as a grid, that let me tell you. So we have to apply a this flex property to parent. So the parent of this card is this container. So I'll giving this flex property to this parent. Now this parent has this child card. I want this child to be in the center of this, horizontally center of this page. So there is this flex property. Mm, I'll justify. Yeah. So justify content is a property in the for the deflex that will justify the child either in horizontally, either in start, either in center, or either in the end. So by default it will be in start. So if I just do that, justify content, and if I want to do at the end, means at the horizontally at the right side. So it's coming in the right side. So I'm specifying this deflex justify content and property in the parent. So inside every child inside this will be given this property. Okay, so it's getting this and property, and there's this similarly center property. So this child will be centered, right? So if you see here, he's they are using justify content center. Then these are things in the start, and there's end, then it's in the end, and they are using center, then it's at the uh, bottom, between. So this is how we can center any center or whatever alignment we want for a child we can do. Now I want vertically center also, right? So there is this one more property, align items. So uh, align item start will be at top, align item end will be at bottom, align item center will be at center. Okay, so I'll give another. So justify content center will horizontally center it. Align items center will vertically center. So if I go here now, I haven't saved it. Is it? Align item centers. Let me refresh it. It's not working. Let me see. So I'll copy this. Align items center. I don't know why it's not working. Reflect justify content center. Align item center. With item center. Is anything wrong here? Let me do it. Start. I don't know why it's not working. Justify content center title. Okay, we can look it at later. We'll just make a form here inside this. So in this body, I don't want this card title and this. I want a form. So we can make this at the bottom later, but we want a form, right? So we just do form. Here we will be able to see all the forms. So you can check any forms you want. I'll take it from floating labels. So I'll take this simple form, copy it. It's copied, right? And now I'll make a form element, and inside that I'll put these two divs. So if I go here, yeah, so I'm able to see a form, email, password. Now if I want multiple fields, I'll just copy these divs inside this div for email and this div for password. I'll just copy all the things. I'll put one for name, one for email address, and one for password. And these are the main thing we required. So it's done, and we want a button also. We want a submit button. We can do so. You can make an input and give this input a type submit. So when we will click on it, the form will be submitted to the action we specified, right? So whatever action we will specified, on that route it will be submitted. So I just do type submit, and there should be a button. It's not working. We will make a, let's see, okay, let's make a button, but type will be submit. So button. Now if I see, if I give a submit, so there is a button coming here, and I'll give a button class to it. button, and I'm telling the color to be red, yellow. So it's coming here. Name, email, password, and then this button. And it will submit it. Now we have done till now, and we can similarly copy this to another register. For professional, we can also copy it. So we will do registers for HTML for professional, and I'll copy everything because we required all the same things. Uh, for your case, there will be different field, so you can choose according to that. You can apply all the fields according to your need. I'll go to professional. I'll just paste all the fields, all the form here, and just change the title to professional. Uh, I hope all able to understand what we are doing, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we have just made some pages, right? HTML pages. Okay, it's done, I think. Now our HTML pages are done. Now we need to create those routes to handle these registration and login. So I'll just quickly create a login page also. So I'll just create a login.html, not inside any folder, not inside any folder. I'll create inside this templates folder directly, because login HTML will access by all the users. I'm not creating inside any folder. So I'll just paste the same thing here and just change the title login, and just we don't require any name, so I'll just remove this name. I required email and password for this login. I'm just doing here till now. Now let's create routes. So in home, what we have specified three routes: slash login, slash register, slash customer, slash register, slash professional. So we will make those routes, right? So I'll make first route app dot route, and I'm giving a route login. I'm specifying all the allowed methods. Get post. Now let's make a login function. So initially, if a user come with a get request, he should see login page, right? So if I write if request, so this request is imported from this Flask. So we will use this request attribute from this Flask, and request dot uh, method equal to if method is get, then we will render a template, return render template code login.html. So if user come to login route with a get, means he's just coming to this route. He hasn't submit any form, so he'll come with a get method, and just we will render a template login HTML. So we have created this login HTML template here. So if he come here, he will be able to see the HTML. So let's try. Go to Flask server. Here our Flask server is running. So I just refresh it once. Click on login, and we are able to see that the login HTML is rendered. Right. I hope you get this right. It's
Once
very
again, sir,
simple.
here, login, login. Where is the login HTML?
Login HTML is created here inside. Now I have created, right?
This is not
Here.
inside the folder of the custom or this
No,
one.
so login we required for everyone, right? Everyone will come to this. Like all the specific HTMLs we will keep in this folder. All the
Go
specific.
to go to the login HTML. How do we
I
correlate
just
to this?
copy this HTML file from other files. So the structure is same, right? There is only a single form in HTML register or an, right, in customer register and professional register.
One tag was removed only.
Yeah, one input I have removed that name input because for the login we don't require any name. We require only email and password, right? So I just make only two input
Okay.
form. So this login HTML, it's rendered with this well, yeah, with this login route. So log
This is a
login.
get method. Get method.
Yeah, he's coming with a get method, right? Now, if he submit the button, then he will come with a post method. How it will be post? So if
On
I
this
go to,
on this login page, he will not write anything.
he will write his name and then he will give his password and then submit. While submitting, it will be post method. But initially,
You
if
have
we come this to this route, so just suppose
okay.
I just copy this route, and if I go to here, I just paste this out and press enter. So I'm not doing any post method. Browser, whatever what this browser URL tab does, it it goes to this route,
Mhm.
any route, any website you if you specified here, it will go to that route with a get method. Okay, get method. So if you go
Mhm.
to any website, if I'm going to bootstrap.com, then it's going with a get method. If you want to see, just to inspect, do networks, clear it. If I refresh it, then you will be able to see there is this. Wait a second. Yeah. So this has been called, right, and it is a
Mhm.
get method. If you click on this,
200 is the get method, no?
no, 200 is status means this successfully is it's successfully
Okay.
loaded.
Okay.
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 Uh, Payload, it goes. We have to check it here. It's not written.
The networks in the networks it will I think be
Wait. There is
in
something.
the
Let me see. Yeah, if I go to here on our website only. If I go to here, if I go on network,
network.
click on all and just refresh it. So this login file we are getting, right. So I'll just click on this and go to headers. Yeah. So the request method is get. Okay.
Okay.
Request method is get, and 200 okay means whatever when I go to this route, is it giving me it's giving me something, right? It's giving me wait a second. Where is this route? Yeah, it's giving me a HTML template, right? So am I able to this browser will say that am I able to render that HTML? If he is able to render that HTML, then it will say 200 okay, right?
Mhm. Okay. Got it.
So that's why we are getting this 200 okay status code. So this will be a get method. So it's going inside if and returning this HTML. Now after going to this login page, he should able to fill this form and submit it. And when where will he will submit? He will submit to a route called login. You can specify another route. I'm using same route for showing the HTML and taking the data back when he submits the form. Okay, so I'm using same route. So the post initially the post get request goes to that route. Now the post request from this form will go to this route. How? Using method post. So I specified that when the user submit this form, it will go to this route using post method. Okay. So Let me just else, yeah, or let to elif request dot method equal to post, then let's return data is saved. Let's just return like this only. So if I go to this HTML page, it's getting with the, I'm able to see this HTML using get method, right? I'm just refreshing it, means I'm calling this route using get method. I'll put my email or whatever XYZ password and then just submit it. Then it will go to this here in the post, because the form is submitted using post method and going to this route. So it will come here. It will check if it is get. No, it's not get. It will check, is it post? Yes, it's post, and it is returning. It's returning data is saved. So I'm able to see data is saved, right?
But it is
Now,
checking. It is checking. It is a post by just saying that anybody had typed on the form out button. Is it
yeah, and if anybody has submit on that, right? After submitting, then it will check, right? If I refresh it,
okay?
I'm refreshing it, so it's
Okay.
going to this route with
Okay.
get method. So it will come here. It will see what is the method. The method is get. Then the server will return a HTML page. This login
Okay.
HTML. Then we are able to see this HTML form HTML, right? So I'll just put my email, or
And don't submit. And don't submit.
then
Up
it
to
won't
this what?
work. Without submit, how it will work?
It is up to this. It is a get method.
Yeah, up to this it's get method. When you submit,
Okay.
then it will be post method, right?
Only. Okay. Okay. When
So
will the data will go that? Okay.
yeah, so it's like nothing is happening. Server is not getting penetrated, right? So there is nothing, no request is being made. I
Mhm.
specified in this form when we submit. So see, for button, there's this type submit, then it will submit this form at this route using this method. Okay, post method. So what it will do, it will send all the data. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry. Yeah, so it's going to that route, and let's take this route data, whatever data we have submitted using this email and password. We should receive it at this route. So how we will receive it? We will receive name, sorry, email. I'm making a variable, and request dot form dot get. So whatever data is submitted using form will be extract with this request.form method, and this get, what it will do. So let me go to login, and I have to make a name attribute here. Okay, and name inside the input I have to make a name attribute here and specify the input name. So this is user email. Okay, and let's, for password, let's make a name attribute user password. Let me make it keep small u. Okay, so I'm specified for this input, the input name is user email. The input for this input, the input name is user password. So that we will require here to extract the data that is put into that input. Okay, so I'll just specify that for email I want, from form I want get, I will get user email. So I have to specify the name attribute that I have given to this input, user email. Okay, whatever I'll give here, I have to specify here that from that input I need data, and it should be stored in this email. Okay, so it's stored in this email. And for password, I'm doing request.form dot get and doing user awt and printing email, printing password. return, let's for now returns data is saved. Okay, so I'm able to retrieve this user, the not the user. I'm able to retrieve the data that the user has submitted through this web page, right? So I'll go to this, I'll refresh it, I'll give an email, whatever email I'll give, and do, and just submit it. So data is saved. When I say print whatever what it's print, it gave at the gmail.com. Okay, why it's giving none? Because I have specified user underscore pwd, right? But in login the input name was user underscore password, right? So I have to use exact same name. So that's why I'm getting none in this pwd, because there is nothing, no input named user password. So I'm just replace it, and I will get the uh, whatever I'll put in that password I will get here. Okay, so this is my login route created. For before login I have to create register, right? So let's create register also. uh, for at that app dot route register. Either you can make same register route. I'm making different. You can make same register route customer, and I'll give. I have to specify methods. Post. So this is the register route I have make, right? And just give a function, and if the request method is get, then he should see the register page, right? So if the request method is get, then he should see the register page. So I will return and render that template. And what is the template for customer? It's inside this customer folder register.html. So I'll specify the path inside this template slash customer, sorry, slash customer, because the directory is customer inside this template, and then inside that there is a register.html. So .html, register.html. Yeah. So if I
Relative
go,
path. Here we will give the relative path, not absolute.
yeah, so this render template looks for a file inside this template. So inside this
Okay.
template we don't have directly register.html. Inside customer directory we have this register.html, right? So I have to, it will go till html templates, and after that I have to specify the path. Okay,
Okay.
it will go to this templates, and inside this template he should go to customer and then register.html. So if I go to slash route, my server is closed, so I'll just again run it app.py. Go to app.py, run this file. String must start with a slash. Okay, so my register, my route, we should start with slash, right? Slash register slash customer. That is the real reason. If you see the error, URL rule register customer must start with a slash. So if you uh, uh, read this error, then you will get to know what is the error. Okay. So it says that you haven't specified a slash before, while
When
putting
we
while.
route this, register customer,
Hmm.
the render template will go directly to this register and this endpoint, register slash customer.
Yeah, slash register slash customer. It will go to that.
Okay. Again, then it is in the customer route, right?
Yeah, we have specified this route, right? For customer register, right?
Okay. So here we can give directly the slash register because customer is already there. No? We are in the customer folder.
Specify the line number. In which line?
Line number 16.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because in line number 13, we
Hmm.
have reached to the through the route register slash customer.
Hmm.
Then we can go in the line number 16 directly slash register.html. Why not? Overlapping.
See, this is a Flask server route, okay, and this is a path of this HTML file. These are two different things. I'm rendering a template. I'm rendering a HTML file. Where this HTML file is this register.html, and this is the route for Flask server. These are two different things. Why are you correlating these two?
Okay, okay.
This is the template, HTML template I have to render, and where this template is,
Okay. There
it's
is no connection with this. That
no,
is
this is the Flask
independent.
route, right? It's Flask route, and this is the HTML template. I can name it whatever, right? I will do XYZ, and just I'll change the name here XYZ, right? So
Okay, okay,
it's about the HTML. What is the HTML, right? It
okay.
will
And the request method will always search the templates, right?
which request method?
Request.method will search this render in the templates.
No, it's not. It's like whatever request is coming to this server,
Yeah,
what is the request coming to server slash register slash customer, right? A
yeah, yeah.
user want to go in this route in this route, right? So this request is coming. So Flask has this request attribute. What it does, it retrieves the information about the request. So it will see that what is the request made with which method it's made. So it's made with get method, and if it is get method, I'm writing a Python logic. If it is something get, if this variable gives you get, then you should do
Mhm.
some this thing, right? This template is and this request is not
Okay,
correlated, right?
okay, okay, got it. I was confusing with that. Okay.
So this request will check whatever request is coming. This request is coming, and
Hmm.
this method will check what is the method of this request, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm using here I'm using request.form. So while posting in the request, is there any form data is present? If it is present, what is checking? Request.form.get. So with this request, if there is any form data present, it gets the user email, uh, corresponding data corresponding to user email. And what is this email specified with this input, right? So this is how it retrieves, right?
Okay, okay.
So it's not about this template, right? This render template, what it does, it just check the templates folder and go to that file what is specified inside this, and renders the template to user.
Got it,
Okay.
got it, got it. It goes to the template folder. Just render
Yeah.
template, go to the template folder and searches the file.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it goes to this. Let me run it again.
okay, sir.
I have to get to app.py file. I have to run app.py file, right? Because my server is running here. I have run app.py file. It's working. I'll go here. I'll click on register. I just make customer route, right? I'll click on this. So initially it's going with uh, get method. So for get method, I'm specifying this register HTML,
Customer
customer
register.
register HTML. So I'm able to see name, email, and password, right?
Hmm.
Now, what we will do when user, and if we should do post data, means if we submit the form, so then the request method will be post. So for post, I have to do I have to retrieve the data that he has sent, right? So I'll just copy this, and for register for customer register HTML, I have to specify the name of each attribute. So each element, each input element. So I'll give this name customer name, and this is my customer email. This name is my, sorry, this is my customer password, PWT. Okay. So I'm specified this name, and I'll go to routes. While posting, I'll retrieve from the form. I'll retrieve customer email. I'll retrieve customer password, and okay, name is there, right? So I'll retrieve name also. So I have this customer email, and what is the name? Okay, so name. So I'm getting email, password, and name. Okay. Now, while registering, what we have to do, we have to specify, because in our database schema, now the database comes into the picture. For customer, for a user, I have email unique. Okay, so for a customer, I want be a user to be specified using email. So if a user has unique email, then the user is unique. Okay, so mm, let's check that whoever is trying to register on this whoever customer is trying to register on this HTML page, let me check if he is already registered or not, right? So how will I check? I'll just query the database. So I'll query user. I have to do user. I should do use customer, right? So I'll just do db.session, because db is imported here, right? So I'm able to use this db. From where I imported, from models I imported. So I'll just do db.session.get. I'm checking db.session.get, not db.session.query, and from which uh, I have to check from users table, right? User class.
User
So
class.
user is not called here. Sorry. User, I have to import it from the backend models. So user class I have imported. So I'm querying from the user class, and I'm filtering, filter by. And for email, what is the attribute? It is email, right? So I'll just do, on the left side, the name will be email, that is specified in the models.py, and corresponding to this capital email. In this, the actual user email is stored, that is sent by this form, right? And I'm checking. So what will happen? I'm checking that user is giving an email, right? So I'm checking that email is exist in the database or not. If a user with that same email is exist, then we should give him a error that you are already registered, right? So you should log in. Okay, he is already registered using this email that he has specified, and he should log in. Otherwise, we should register that customer, right? If he is not registered, then we should register that. So if a user present, then the customer he will have the user object. But if he is not present, then customer will have none. It will give nothing, right? So it will have a none. So let me check. I'm checking if cust one, then I'm printing, sorry, I'm returning customer is present, else I'm returning not present. Okay, let me open the TV browser first. Let's see if there is any customer there. I'll go. I'll open. Mm, I'll go to customer. Yeah, so I don't have any data here. So I'll just, what I will do. here, just refresh it. I'll give a uh, name, give an email, give a password XYZ, and just submit it. Oh, so for name, it's masking at the rate. Let me check. Okay. Okay. So for name attribute, the type is email. So it's requires a email type of input, right? So I'll just do simple text. For name, we required only simple text. For email, we required email, and then for password, the type is password. So I just have to do text. So because name is a text format, it's not a special kind of format like email, right? So change this type text. Okay. So now if I try to submit again, I have to refresh it, right? Because I have saved the HTML again. So I'll just refresh the page. Yeah. Now if I give name and the password is XYZ, and if I submit, it goes to this route, but it's not working. Why it's not working? Let's see. Okay. Let's see the route. It goes to this method with post. I haven't opened the debugger mode, is it? Okay. So for this one, are you able to see here what error I'm getting, right? First, initially what happens when I click on this, all the data is goes to this URL. Okay, all data goes to this URL, and nothing happened, right? Now, where to see that what is the error coming? There is no error coming, right? But I'm able to see that my Flask server get a request with get method to this route using this payload. Okay. Now, this why this get method? It should not be get method, right? It should be a post method. It should be a post method because I submitted using a form. Ideally, it should be a form post method. So why it's not coming? I have to check in the register HTML. So this is how you can look why you are getting error. So you see there's this request coming to this server using get method. So it's not working. So but when it will work when our uh, where it goes, where it will have a post method, then it will go inside this, right? Otherwise it's not going inside, it just returning the render template, right? With get method it comes to this register customer and just returning it. So I have to check in the HTML file, it's not going with the form, that method post. Okay. So if I go to this register HTML customer page, customer HTML, in the form I have not specified the action, okay, where it should go. So it should go to register slash customer and haven't specified the method. So this is how you can debug what your code is giving error. Okay. So form is not specified with the action and the method. That's why I'm not able to do it here. If I refresh it again, wait a second, I have saved it. Yes, I have saved it. Remove this. Yeah, so I'll just put again name, email, and password type. And
Action is the attribute of the form.
yeah, it's a fetch form attribute, and we have to specify the action where the form data it should go, and the method, not get, it should be post, right? Again, I have made mistake. Post, it should be post, right? So if I have to refresh it again, uh, okay, so I see, and then if I click on submit, not present, right? What it doing, it in the route routes.py, it goes to post, It retrieves the email, password, name. It queries from the database that this email is exist. So what email we have given? Himanshu@gmail.com. It's not exist. It does not exist in the database. So the customer is empty. So this will have none. And if it is not none, then it will return customer is present. As it will present, it will return not present. So I'm getting not present because it's not present, right? So I hope you are getting why how we did, right? Should I go ahead? Anything?
So data gone to the
Data hasn't gone to anywhere. We haven't write anything that send the data to database, right?
okay, it is not going there.
Anybody want to ask anything or okay, not a problem. Uh, Now I'm checking if customer present. Let me write like this way. If not present, then we should do something. We should send the data to database. Otherwise, we should send him to. We should
Register page.
redirect him to register, not register because he is at register and he is already registered. This the command coming to else means he is already registered, right?
Yeah, yeah, login.
Sir,
Yeah.
then we should send to login. So I'll just specify the redirect route.
Flask login.
So redirect with what it will send? It will send the user to login with get method. Okay, redirect, just redirect it. So it just send it to get method. Now he will come to here in the login. He will come to get and he will be rendered a login HTML, right? So if I return here XYZ, now again let me do the same thing. I'll go here. Oh, my this stopped. I go to app.py. I'll again start the server. The server is running. Just refresh it. I'll go on the register customer. I'll put Himanshu, my email XYZ, and if I submit, I'm getting XYZ. Okay, if not, right? So if not, the user is not present, right? So if not, he will see XYZ. Otherwise, he will go to login. So let me put a data here. I'll just create a new record. I'll just see the name and okay, I have entered. And I'll click on apply. So my data is entered. I'm just using corresponding to this email, right? So I not required this. So I'll just save it. Database is saved. Now if I go back, refresh it, and email XYZ, and if I submit, it's coming to login page because it's checking whether this customer with this email is present. Then customer will have a data, will have an object. So it won't go to if, because if not customer one, so it will evaluates to false and it's go inside this else and redirect to login, and it will redirect to login. And what login does? Login with get method returns the login HTML. So we are at login page with this login form, right? So this is how we can connect to two routes, right? If not
Can you
present,
put some text? Some you put some text because it is
what type
going
of text
to.
and where?
If you are not registered, to please.
Yeah, that validation we will do after it, right?
Okay,
But
okay,
you
okay. It
got
is.
this thing, right? Our purpose is
Hmm.
to just create this functionality. The uh, alerts we have to show it. We should not show later, right? When our core
Okay,
functionality is done, right?
okay, okay.
So he's coming to login if he is already registered. If he is not registered, then what we have to do, uh,
XYZ.
just submit to database, right? We have to register that customer. So
Yeah.
I'll after going to this, if we will create a new customer object, cust equal to user, because the class name is user. I by mistakenly changed the class name with user and the table name is customer, so that's why the confusion. But the user and the customer means the same. Okay, so take it like that. So I'll
Both will
create.
work. Either we take the table name or we take
No,
the
no, no. While creating an object, you have to use the class name, right?
object class name.
Class name. And in this query also we have to put the class name. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll submit the user with a name attribute because the database has name.
For fetching data, we can use the table name, right?
No, the fetching data also, they see 21 we are fetching the data here only, right?
So when
We
we
are
will
getting,
use that table name.
we don't require any table name here. Why do
Okay.
you need?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So this is okay. So we'll create an object of user and push it to database, right? So I'll create a object of user with the name of whatever name I get here. Name is equal to capital name, and email is equal to email. This email that I got from the HTML, I put it here, and then password. Let me check if I have written password only. Yeah, I have password. So password equal to what I got from HTML. So I'm just sending these three. So these three are only required. So and this customer is created now. db dot session dot add. I'll add this and just do customer and db dot.
Cust one. Cust one.
No, but I have created this new object
Okay.
customer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Cust,
Yeah.
cust one is having
Yeah. Yeah.
customer
Yeah.
has
Got it.
nothing, right? That's why it's
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
to if
Got it.
and
Okay. Okay.
session dot commit and it's committed. So I just committed it. Now if let's check if it is goes to database or not. Let me delete this record. I'll click on this. I'll this existing record. Save this file. Control S. Database saved. So there's nothing in the customer. Now I will create a customer record in the database. So I'll do customer. I'll put the name, email, password XYZ, and submit. Okay, view function for customer register did not return a valid response. Okay, so it goes inside here and we haven't written here. So let me tell you why we get error. Okay, so just read this error. Okay, the view function for cust register did not return a valid response. Okay, what it means? We have come to this customer register customer route, right? And with post method, so it goes here and the function means cust register function means this function, and it is called a view function for this route. This function is called view function name cust register for this customer slash register slash customer route. So it's giving error for this function. So let's see what error we are getting. So let's execute line by line. We are submitted the form. So we are posting here. We are coming with a post method. I'll get the email. I'll get the password, name. I'll check if it email exists. If not, because currently if not, it's not right. So it's going inside here. Currently, when I'm getting this error, it's going inside here, and it's creating an object. It's adding that object to session and then committing it. And we didn't have this written. I just write this written here. We didn't have this written. So every function should have this function should have written, right? It should return something to after customer has query something, right? Has queried something. He has requested this route. So this functions always should return, right? then only the data will goes to user. So after returning, we can say you are registered. Okay, you are registered. But while we are running this, it's saved in the database because we have added and we have committed, so it's saved in the database. After that we are getting error, so if I refresh it, our database is populated. So let me delete it and again do it. If you anybody has doubt in that error, if why that error come, can ask again, if anybody want. Anybody?
Return is compulsory to be.
Yeah, for this route, the function should return something. It should not terminate without returning, because
Oh,
so take it as this analogy. If you are requesting something to someone, suppose a user requesting this route, okay, put to this function, this flask function, this go function, so you should return something to him, right? So you have to
mhm.
write this return statement, right? So that's why we have to write this, otherwise you will get that error.
Then only it will go to the database. Otherwise, it will not go to
No,
the database.
it's going to database. It's this is the Python thing, right? We have just write a Python code. It will work, right? But after that, it goes inside this. So just take it like this. It goes
If
inside
this,
this. Just listen to me. It goes inside this if, because the email is not present already, so it create an object, it add to session, and this commit means it goes to database. Now
yeah,
Python comes to the 26 line, okay, Python comes to 26 line, and he there's just block. He doesn't go anywhere, because he cannot go into the else, and he stuck here. Python is not returning anything, right? Is stuck here. So that's why we get error that this function is not returning anything. But Flask requires that every view function of this route should return something, and it's stuck here. So it should return going to database. It should return something. Okay, yeah, whatever you are requested, it's done, right? So I'm
but if you don't put this return statement,
hmm.
still data will be populated in our DB browser.
It's done in the database. Now I just deleted this, right? It's done in
No,
the
no, you
database.
deleted after the return statement was there. Put one data again without return statement. It will go.
It will go. Yeah, I showed you to
Okay.
you. Okay,
Okay.
do it again. Okay, what error I'm getting? Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I have
please.
uh, remove this return statement. I'll
Yeah.
go to that page again.
Register page.
Let me refresh it. Register customer page.
Yeah.
I'm just giving name, email, password, and submitting with post method. So I'll
Hmm.
submit, and I'm getting this error, right? But now if I check in the database and refresh it here, there's this database
Okay.
entry.
Okay. Okay.
So it
Got it.
it's not about this error. It's about the Python. It going here.
Okay. Okay.
It's running this, but there's no return statement here. So
Further, it will not proceed because return is required.
yeah, return is required. So it's giving error that a return is
Hmm.
required. So I'm
Got it.
while returning, I can either I can return that data is you are registered, or like after registering we should send the customer to login page, right? After
Yeah, yeah.
registering he should be able to log
Rendered,
in. So I'll just
rendered,
redirect.
rendered, rendered
I'll
document.
just redirect it, right? Login, and then
Okay. Only.
login will handle the template rendering part, right?
So what
I'm
is the
just redirect.
difference between redirect and render template?
Redirect will redirect to this route. Render template will render the HTML to the user, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
redirect will just redirect to, it will point to this route. Now the handling power comes to this route. Okay. Now this
Mhm.
route handles everything. Okay. So it's doing its part. Something. Yeah. I think till now nobody has doubt. Okay. I should. No one. Nobody is asking. So that means nobody has doubt. Okay. I'll go ahead.
It's not that. I think everybody is not doing.
But logically, you are not getting any doubt, na, conceptually, correct?
No, conceptually till now not yet.
Yeah. When we will do, you will like get this type of error, that error I am getting, this type of error, that you have to study, that you have to read properly in which line you are getting. So I just, because I have, in the last time I have done that, so I just immediately know that where I am getting error. Okay. So, but if you do, then you will fairly able to read the error properly. So just read the line where you are getting error. Okay. We have done this debugger mode, right? So this debugger, if you note, yeah, debugger mode is also tells us and the here only that what error I am getting. So we will get it here. Okay. Now
After completing the codes, can you just please paste them in the G space or like making any kind of a file for it?
I'll push it to GitHub, right? Do you have the repo of this? I'll paste the repo, GitHub repo here, and it will
Okay.
update after this session, immediately after this session. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So this is the repo that I'm working in here in the session. Now the customer has registered. Now let's do the same part for service professional. Okay, same thing for professional. So I'll just copy this route. We have to make some changes, right? Either you can do in the same route, but that will be difficult, so I'm making another route. We have time constraints, otherwise I will tell how we can do in the same route, but we'll do in the next lecture. Okay. So I'll just professional. For professional route, if he is coming for professional route, he should see the register page for professional. So it will he will come to this route with get method. The template will be rendered is in the professional register.html. If it is get post method, so in the register.html we should just specify the input name, right? So name equal to uh, pro pro name and equal to pro email, name equal to password pwd. Okay. Oh shit. Hmm. Underscore. So I'm specifying the name. For the form action, it should go to this register slash what is the name, professional. You only have one register page, right? So you don't require this two HTML. You have only one single user, right? And for admin, you don't require any register page. So it's not for you. But I want to tell you a concept here, so that's why I'm creating a HTML page. So the method should be post method equal to post. Now the routes are there. So the form, from the form I want professional email, and it is pro pwd or name. It should be this is the pro. Okay. So name, password, email is coming here. Now instead of checking from the user table, we should check from the other table. What is this? The name of that? The
Professional.
professional, right? So I'm just copying it. Uh, Professional, and in the query I have to specify the, and I have to call from the models. So it's coming here. So I'm checking the email exist. If not exist, so after, I should not do this customer. You can do other, there is no problem, but for the consistency, we should keep the variable name understandable, right? So if not professor one, then create a pro and add it to database and commit it and login. I
Professional
think,
user, professional.
yeah, it's for
Oh,
professional. Oh, so
oh,
here, okay.
yeah, user.
Okay, fine. But there is a then there is a constraint I have told you, right? I have told you in the last session that for my for this project, a professional should choose a service, right? A already existing service, and he can register under that service only, right? So let me do one thing. So what I will do,
Category.
service category, right? So I'll go to category table. I'll create a category name. What to say? Yeah, insert a record. I create a category home name, base price with 1000. We can leave them. Okay, so let me create a one more category. Home and carpenter 1000 and click on apply. So it's there. I'll just control S, save it. I want to show this to the user, to the professional while registering. Okay, I want to show this name of this service category, and he can choose and then register, right? So in the where it should go? Yeah, here. If I go to home page slash, my server is closed. Okay, I'll go to app.py, run it again. There's some error. Okay, so see, I have made two different route, right? But the function name is same. I should not do that, right? Flask gives error immediately that you are using same function name for two different routes. So this function name should be different. So how did I get this? How I get to know? It says assertion error. View function mapping is overwriting an existing endpoint function, cust register. So you have to just look at it. You just have to understand it, and I'll just change the name to pro register. Right now it won't be there. Now if I run this app.py, go to app.py, run app.py. It's running. Go to here, refresh it. Go here, professional. He should see a input to select the services categories. Okay,
Category,
so
category.
there is an input button we can write for drop down select. Okay, for in input there is a element called select. We can use that.
In which page you will register page?
Yeah, in the register page, right? In the while registering, he should select the service category, right?
Right.
Under
Yeah.
that category, he has to register. So after the email, what I can do, I can just copy this. Okay, and it's not the email. It's not input actually. So it is a select. And in select there are list items. So he can choose like let's say Apple. Okay, so let's refresh it. he is able to see it. Okay, wait a second. Let's check how select HTML form select tag option. Okay, not li, it's option. It says option. I'll just copy it, paste it below. So in the select button, I can give what we want. So if I refresh it, cancel it. Where are we? No. Let me remove all the other. Yeah, for professional, I'll just refresh it. I have to remove this label also. And this is coming here. Now, why it's not covering the whole part? For now, it's correct, but we have to, instead of apple and banana, we have to give the category from the database, right? So how will we retrieve the category from database? I'm just telling the concept here, okay? So you can check how this option can be shown. Like front end part you can do, right? You can select it here. And select option. So we have to, when he first come to this customer, that professional, yeah, when he comes first time on the page with get method, he should see the services here. So I have to retrieve all the services from service category from the database. Okay, so serve underscore get, and I'll do db.session dot query, and let me see the name of the class service category. Okay, so okay, the whole line is copied. Service category, I have to call it. So yeah, so this class I'm querying from this table, and I want all the service category, right? Because I want to show all the category to the now in the scr underscore cat I have list of objects. And how many objects I have in the database? 2 objects. So I have list of objects, right? So either what I can do, I can retrieve the name only because I have to show the name, or otherwise you can give this, right? So while giving this, I'm specifying this attribute, this attribute. So category equal to, what I will do, I will use Jinja template to show this attribute. So in the template, Jinja template, this is a category attribute that will be in the HTML page, and that this category is getting value from this scr underscore cat. Okay, so in the HTML we have to use this category. Okay, whatever we have specified in the left side. So how would we use it? Where it's gone? Yeah, in the professional, that is a list, right? So what we can do, we can iterate to it, right? We can use a for loop. So how we use, I hope you all aware of Jinja template. So this is the syntax of Jinja template. For loop, we have to do curly braces and then this percent sign, right? And if I look for I in category, so that variable that we have to use. So in this variable, now you can take it as a Python code. So this category has a list which has a, and that list has object of category class. Okay, category database that we have, service category. So I is a object. Now I am applying for loop, and let me tell you, this should be the same syntax. Okay, it's not like that. Before percentage you are giving a space. Okay, if you do this, you will get error. Okay, or and it will take a lot of time to debug this error also. It won't specify that you have done a space. Okay,
A
you will.
space is not, a space should not be there.
Yeah, before percent and this curly braces, there should be not a space. Okay,
Okay.
there should not be a space. It will tell you that there's an error in line number 25, but what error you don't know if you do this. Okay,
Okay.
it will tell you that there is an error, but
Hmm.
the error won't be like you won't be able to debug that. So I'm just telling you that this syntax should be this curly braces percent then स्पेस देके द वो भी जो भी आपको लिखना है कोड फिर वापस से परसेंट एंड देन कर्ली ब्रेसेस क्लोज सो दिस इज द सिंटेक्स एंड देन ये फोर लूप हुआ इसके अंदर ये ऑप्शन है राइट सो इनसाइड दिस फोर लूप दिस इज द ऑप्शन now I don't want this apple all that thing right I want this I is a first I is an object of that class right so I can what I can do I can use this I is an object now that object has an attribute this object has an attribute called name okay this is name so I can directly use this because this category has my list of all the where it goes list of all the objects so I will be a single object for single object there is a name attribute so I can show name and for showing printing you have to do this double curly braces okay for printing you have to do double curly braces for for loop and if loop if you are if statement you have to do this single curly braces and this percent I hope you are aware of this so and at the end I end this for loop so end for so this should be and for together not and space for okay so this is also you have to keep in mind so I'm getting that what I'm doing I'm just querying this service all the service category all the service category objects are present in the list in this variable I'm sending this variable to this variable in the html okay and now this variable will be used inside this html so it has a list of object I is an object and that object has different attributes so I required name to be shown there right so I'm just doing name now if I refresh it and just look at yeah so I'm able to see this home cleaning and then carpenter right are you getting an idea that how we will do it
Yeah, it's great.
yeah okay so I want to cover a lot of things today but I don't think so
We have to make practice, no? Because we are just now not doing the parallelly.
yeah you have to do it you have to spend time here okay
Yeah, yeah. One by one, I will do it.
okay now this is done so for customer it's working for this it's working register is working
Professional.
okay professional and customer both it's working right we have made for
Yeah.
customer and customer we
Yeah.
don't require anything while getting right for this professional when he see the first time he sees the page he should see all the category on the form so we are just rendering with the html we are rendering the category okay and if he is posting then we just if he is present already present then we are just sending to login and if he's not present then we are just registering them and then sending to the login page okay I think that is pretty clear now just we should work on the login page login part right and now there's an important concept I'll tell you that
If we need option, if we need option in the drop down menu, then only we need the rendering at the time of rendering.
yeah if you it's an example of options right now if you want anything from database to be shown in the web page then you can show right it's just an example right
Then at the time of rendering tablet, we have to
we have to
supply
give
this
the
one.
supply the all the data that we want
Okay.
right
And before supplying, we have to access that data, fetch that data before
database.
applying this.
Yeah,
Right.
we have to fetch this data, right? So I'm fetching this data and then I'm sending this data while rendering this. Okay, so it will populate there and then it will render. Okay, So whatever data, the Ginger template will populate the whole HTML and it will render it then to the web browser. Okay, so this is how it's working. Okay, so let's work on this login. So for login, you can do two things. Okay, for login you can specify where we are going. This is not. Yeah. So I'll go to login. Yeah. So while login, there are I have three entities. You have two entities, right? You have admin and user. I have three entities: admin, customer, and professional. So I'm making a single login page. Okay. So either what I can do, I can make a drop down here, like we have done for select, and I can specify that if user he just click on this, he can select that if he's a customer, he can click on that if he's a service provider. Okay, so he can specify from here. Otherwise, just what I will do, we will make a functionality where user will give his email, his password, and then we identify whether the email the corresponding to whether user class, professional class, or customer class. Sorry, admin class. Okay, so in the backend we have to do that. Otherwise, we can give just a drop down here, and user can select that, and that will be easy for us, right? So that is
Yeah, that will be.
that
That
is
is
your
easy.
understanding of how you want to do it. So I'm not going to tell you the simple way. Okay, I'll tell you the backend part, that how in backend we will identify that the user is of which class. Okay, so uh, while just going to this route, he is seeing this template. After posting it, we will get the username, we will get the password. Now here comes the part. Okay, so I'll check first. Okay, I'll just give a name, and I'll check for this db.session.query from let me query from first user. Okay, user table it will query, means customer table it will query, and then it filter by. Okay, filter by email equal to this capital email that we retrieve from the form dot first. If any one matches with this email, we store this person. If suppose there's no email, uh, there's no person with this email present this in this user table, then there won't be anything stored in this person attribute, right? In this person variable. So if it is present, then it will go inside this person, right? Or we can do or. Okay, it's just a Python thing, right? If you do one or zero or so one or nan none, one or none. So person, if you print person, then it will give you one, because if it, or means it will take either one of two. So it won't take none. It will take this one. So right, it's a conditional statement, right? If this or this true, so one is corresponding to true and none is corresponding to false, so it will take true one, so a person will store one. Okay, it's just Python. I hope you know how it works. So what I'm doing, I'm saying db.session, let me do control check. So if this has any data, then it is stored in person. If this does not have, then it's none means, right? So then you should go or, and then I just what I will do, copy this, paste it here, or this. So okay, this backslash, what it helps, it tells that this is the same line. Okay, backslash in Python, this backslash means this. Okay, so because it's going in that long line. So that's why I've done this backslash. So it's the same line. Okay, either I'm querying from the user table. If it exists, then it's stored in person. If it does not exist, it will query from professional table. Okay, it will query from professional table. Now then this exists, then it will store in person. If these two don't exist, then it will query from admin table. Though the class name is admin and it's not called, I think. So I'll just do admin. So it check that this email is exist in which. So ऐसा तो नहीं होगा that every customer will use same email for professional, admin, and user, right? We won't do this, right? Ideally, it should not be like this. Okay, so a email corresponding to a single user with a same single identity. Okay, so that's why it will give a single thing. Whatever the object, whatever the person from any class, it will stored in this person. Okay, now I have retrieved the what do we say?
If
The
two emails,
object.
if two emails are there in the, suppose the same email is there, because you have not given any constraint for that. Yes, a user is also have using the same email. A professional one user can be a professional also and user also, no?
So ideally, we don't need this, right? We haven't
Okay.
given this constraint, right?
Okay.
When we will give you can do this while
In the
registering.
database, there is no constraint.
So in database is not constraint, but you can. So similarly, you are checking that email exists while registering for customer. You are checking that email exists in the customer, then it won't. Then here you can, what you can do, you can check for all the tables, user, admin, and professional. And if
Okay.
that email
Okay.
does not exist for all three
Okay.
tables,
Okay. Forget
then
it. No, forget it. Got it. Got that.
right.
Complexity we should not improve first.
Yeah,
First
so
we
that
do the
is
simple things.
that is not the core requirement, right? So that's why I
Correct.
didn't
Correct.
tell.
Correct.
I won't tell you.
Correct. Correct.
So
Correct.
so our person with this email will be stored here. So if suppose the email is not exist in all of three, means the user is not registered, right? That user is not registered. So if I check if person, okay, if there is this person has something, then it should do something. Okay, let me the data is saved. We will do something here. Okay, else means the email, a user with this email that he has sent with the form is not exist in all three tables, so means he is not registered. So I'll just return, I'll send him to home page, and from there it he can go to any for registering. Okay, so I'm just redirecting to slash. So I'm that user is not exist, then I'm redirecting it to slash. Okay, now if it exists, okay, if it exists, then I have to check the password to log in the user, right? Whatever the user is, user, professional, admin. So I have to log in, check the password, that the password is same. So if person is present and person dot password. Now how I'm able to do this password, because this person is either he can be user tab user object, either he can be professional object, yeah, admin object. Okay, so I can use this password only if I have done, for the password I have used same name. So here is the password. For professional I also use attribute name password, and for admin I also use password. So if I for admin, suppose
Admin is also having a password. Yeah.
he will log in,
Admin
right? So
he
if
will
I
log
do
in.
admin for password for admin, I am doing pwd. Now if a person is of admin of class, then this will throw error. So for this consistency, you have, what you have to do, if you want to do is do it together this way, then you have to name the variable of password same. So I have done all the on the all the variables same. So password, 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 right? So you have to keep that in mind. I hope you are getting what I'm trying to say, right? So I'm checking the password here, right? Person.password. So the attribute name should be inside user password and admin same.
Okay, the password attribute name should be same in the all the three tables.
Yeah, all the three tables. If we are doing with this way, okay. If we are doing with this way, so I'm checking if the person dot password is equal to whatever he has sent with the uh, form. So that is stored in PWD. So we are checking the password is same. If the password is same, then we will return the user uh, to the dashboard. Okay, let's check and try login. Okay, I hope till now it's clear, right? We are retrieving the email and password from the HTML page. We are checking that email the person with this email exists in any of the database, okay, any of the table. And now the person password, I'm checking the password, and I'm checking that if that person is exist in any of these, then he should go to the dashboard, and otherwise he should go to home page. Okay, now there's one challenge for me, that suppose the person is retrieved and he has the password, correct password, he should go to dashboard. Now I have three entities: user, professional, admin, and everyone have different dashboard, right? So how would I check that this person is of which class? If it is for user class, if it is a professional class, if it is a for admin class, right? So we have, I don't have any, I don't know anything about this person, right? From which class it's belong to. So we have to check. Before that, let's check that if till now it's working or not. So I'll just refresh this login page. Okay, my server is closed. I'll go app.py, run this, refresh it. Yeah, it's already refreshed. I'm giving this and XYZ and submitting. So it says that this user with this email does not exist here. So why it's done that? Let's see if in database it's there. Customer is there, right? Email at himanshu@gmail.com, and what I put here. Let me go to email. Okay, so password is not same. I think password is not matching. I haven't given any password. So while registering, I haven't given any password. So I'm putting a password here, XYZ, and I'll save it. Now again, if I try this email and XYZ, then I get this to the dashboard. Means the authentication is working, right? This authentication is working. Okay, so now I have to identify that which of this class, this person object belong to which class. So I can specify that for which dashboard it should go to. Okay, so let me create different file. So for professional, let me create a dashboard file. .html. Okay, let me take a boiler template. Shift 1, enter, and I'll just write in H1. Professional dashboard. Okay, professional dashboard. Similarly, I will do for customer. In customer, I will create a file dash.html. Shift 1, and in H1, I'll write customer dashboard. Now I will create two routes in this routes.py @app.route slash customer slash dashboard, and I'm giving method get app. I'm audible, right? I'm in the class.
Audible.
Yeah, okay. Post and just make a function quickly. Dash, okay. And if request dot method equal to get, then it should return a render template customer slash the file name is dashboard. Now it's same thing. Let's do for same route. Let's make for professional, and I'll just do. Okay, so I have made two, and let me just do professional. Now two routes has been made. Let's see. Now I want to check if a person, if okay, let's make for admin also. Quickly, let's make for admin, and then admin, and let's create a file for admin. For admin file folder, I will create a file. Dashboard H1 or in H1 I'll say admin. Okay, so I have created these routes. Now I want to check with which, okay, now the function name is, okay. Now I want to check the person object of which class. Okay, so there is a inbuilt Python function. There's an inbuilt Python function called is instance. Okay, called is instance. It checks that you have any class object. Okay, any class object. It's not about database. Okay, it's if you have any class object, so you will give an object. So in person there will be an object store of either user, professional, or admin class. Okay, so if is instance person of user class, then I will get true. Okay, so it will evaluates to true if this person object is of user class. Okay, if it is of user class, then what I should return, I should redirect to it to this customer dashboard, because user corresponding to customer. Now I'm redirecting to this one. Now elif is instance. This is a built-in Python function that checks the object corresponding to the class name. If that is the corresponding object, then it would evaluate to true. So if it is a user object, then I will go to customer dashboard. If it is a, I'll write person of admin, then I'll return to direct slash what I say, okay, admin, right? I'll just do admin. This is the route I made. Okay, and I'll check similarly for professional also. I hope you are getting this right. what I have written. So this function is check the instance of a class to the class. If it is an instance of that, then it will evaluate to true. Okay, but we don't know in person which one is evaluating true, and then which class of object is storing in this person. So we are checking that which class object is this person, and then according to that we are redirecting to the corresponding routes. So I'll do professional, and I will do professional. Now I should work, right? I think ideally there is no error. Let's see. If it is so not. Oh, sorry. Okay, here I'll go again back. Okay, my server has stopped. I'll go to app.py again. Run this. Is this some error? Let's see what error I'm getting. I'm in app.py, right? Wait. In app.py, I'm running this. Okay. Unexpected argument in 22 line. Method. Which unexpected route I'm getting? I don't know what I'm getting. It's missing. Customer dashboard, admin dashboard. Is anybody able to rectify this, or
You have to use methods
Over that,
instead of
yeah,
method.
methods. In the
Yeah,
line
yes?
method.
Oh, okay,
74
okay.
as well and
Sorry,
79.
this is method. Okay. So yeah, this happens. Okay, let's run it. Again, it says no module. Okay, I have to go to app.py and then. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So refresh it. Put my email. Let's see that customer dashboard I will go to. XYZ. Yeah, I'm going to customer dashboard. So the authentication part is working. If you are able to do this, I think it's a request that if you can do this to till tomorrow, then we can go ahead, because we have a lot of things left. Till now, anybody has any question, then they can ask.
No questions for now, but when we will do it by ourselves, I think then many questions will come.
Yeah, so do it and just paste if you have any error. Okay, so you cannot paste your code to in the G space, so just ping me directly. I'll
Okay.
tell you there, and tomorrow we will go ahead with this, right? So there will be some Flask-Login part I will tell.
Give 1 day at least for the doubt clearing. Na?
See, what happened that we have 5 days into this, right? And this is the 6th day, and it's over, I think. So we have a lot to cover in 21 days. So I don't think there is something that is cause error, because it's all about these routes. If you have otherwise, if you have doubt, then you have to tell me that you are getting any conceptual doubt, or you are getting a lot of error. Okay, you have to tell me before this like 10-11 p.m. or and they write 10 to 11 p.m. Okay, otherwise there won't be I am not able to reschedule that the next session as a doubt session. Okay, so you for that you have to try it first, right? So give it time and then try it. Okay, so let me stop, and then if you have, we can talk about this. Let me stop the.
I have one doubt previously in the last session.
Okay.
When I configured my database, I was entering one data. I was entering in the DB session, the two data was going. What was the
Yeah.
reason behind?
Okay. Let me just stop the recording.
Okay.
We have
Yeah,
done
please.
the
Please.
authentication part today,
Right.
and we will go ahead with the next thing in the next session. Okay, so let me just stop the recording.
Yeah, share the recording, sir. Right.